Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? My name is Ola Oladipupo. I am your comfort coroner. So, quick one. I like to do a review of the movie IYA. It's in parts 1 to 3. It's produced by Mide Martins. Now, the review I want to do is based on the emotions of the characters. I just want to analyze the emotions of the characters from their point of view. It has generated a lot of conversation, but from this mental health point, from this emotional point of view, I want to analyze all the emotions of the characters. First thing first, I like to tell you that all the emotions you saw in that movie, all their feelings are valid, all the emotions displayed by all the characters. All the emotions of the characters are actually very valid. Now, the feelings of the father, the feelings of the mother, the feelings of the children, very valid. So that's the first step, that everyone's feelings is valid. By the time we delve into it, you would see how their feelings are valid. Let's take the point of view of the character of the father first. If you know that the way the man has been wired is to be a provider, a protector, and when a man is now failing in these areas, they don't think straight again. They are not thinking straight because their joy, their satisfaction comes from being able to provide and protect for their loved ones. And if a man is failing in these areas, it becomes a great issue for that man. He's not thinking straight. In some cases, the man can get easily irritated, even when the woman is trying to help or the children are trying to make things easy. They just can't understand. They feel you are trampling upon them. Even one of the Bible says that a man that cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel. So imagine how a man that loves his home would feel when they cannot provide. So the feeling that that man had of inadequacy was actually very valid and very genuine. And that's what prompted him. Of course, he didn't think well. It wasn't rational for him to now abandon his family. When the two of you were there, it was difficult to feed. There are times that he had to go. There was a scene where he said he had to buy gari and palm oil so that the children and the mother could eat. They hadn't eaten from morning. So imagine you now leaving your woman to handle it. But at that point, the guy wasn't thinking straight. He just saw himself as a failure. And thank God that the character was not painted in such a way that, oh, probably the character went to commit suicide, because that would have been the end of the story. But the character just felt like, okay, the best thing for me right now is let me see what I can do. Let me remove myself from the equation. Of course, it's because the character wasn't thinking fine. Because if you were thinking fine, you would not think that the solution is to abandon 3 kids to live. But if you are thinking or looking from the point of view of a provider, the guy already felt like a failure. And he felt that the best thing was whatever would happen, he should even go. Now, where the character missed it wasn't one day that he was able to amass his wealth. It means that growth for that character was gradual. That's the character of the father. The error he made was the moment he was able to feed, you could rent an apartment, you were eating, he should have gone back to look for his wife and kids. Of course, he would not tell, he couldn't, when he was leaving, he couldn't tell the wife this was what he wanted to do because he didn't even know what he wants to do. So, yes, we have given him fault for that. But the moment progression came and growth came for that character, the father should have reached back to the family, not waiting until you have now arrived. But the issue there is the lesson there is when you wait too long to do the right thing, it becomes more difficult. You're supposed to return probably year one, year two, year three. You didn't return. When it becomes year 10, it becomes more difficult for you. Year five, it becomes more difficult because now you have more to prove. So that's that on the point of the father. Now, the point of view of the mother. Now, there's been a lot of discussion. The woman is bitter and all that. The woman kept saying, "Mojisheji Yalore." Now, that phrase, each time the woman mentions that phrase, she's not referring to one particular incident. It's layers in her trauma, layers of her sacrifice. So when she says Mojishe Mojia, it's another story. She has probably remembered the story of they couldn't pay fee. She has probably remembered the story of the children were sick. In layers. Now, the woman actually was grieving a lot of things. Now, she lost her husband. The guy did not die, but she lost the life she thought they were going to have together. She lost the comfort. She lost her dream. Then she also sacrificed her life in the process. how would she have, at that point in time, people would have mocked her, she would have felt dejected and all that. So she had loss on all fronts, on a lot of levels of fronts, and she had to process it. Now, the issue that now happened at the end when the man came back was because the woman did not heal. Now, this is a lesson for all single parents or anybody that has been hurt. You need to process your emotions, you need to sit with it. Because if you don't sit with it on time, when you are supposed to be appreciated or when you should now receive the reward, this thing will rear its ugly head. And you cannot wish these emotions away. That is the way we are wired. You need to process it. If she had been sitting and been processing her emotion even before the guy resurfaced, God has blessed you, your children are where they are now, if she had been facing it one after the other, identifying the thing that hurt, identifying what I could have done right, what I didn't have power over, and thanking God that, oh, it is better now. When the man came back, of course, emotions will still be there, but the hurt would not be that much. You will see that as the movie was progressing, the woman was stuck in different phases of emotion. Initially, it was anger. She was attacking the guy. Then it got to a point she was just dejected. She was heartbroken. She felt she had been cheated. And she got to a point of she didn't know what to do again. Now, those are the processes that ordinarily, when you are healing, you would go through. Time does not heal all wounds. Intentions do. You have to be intentional about your healing journey. If there is anything, you need to first identify this is what has hurt me. Process it. This is what I want to do with this hurt. Gradually, it is not that you would forget, but when things now happen, you can make decisions with clear minds. And that's what happened to that lady because she had not, if she just bottled it down because she needed to survive. Now, this should be a wake up call to everyone. You have something or someone or a situation that has hurt you, you need to sit with it so that it doesn't come to bite you when you're supposed to be enjoying your reward. Then, for all single parents, be single father, single mother, do yourself a favor. Know that that child would always go back to the missing parents. The only thing you need to do for yourself is instill the good values in your children and do not lie about the other partner. Don't make up stories, don't falsify claims because these children will find out. But the only comfort you would have is if you have raised them well and you have instilled good morals and values in them, they will be able to judge. And you, as a mother or a father, would be able to accept, should be able to accept whatever decision they are making. Because children, that missing parent, children will look for that missing parent, whether you like it or not. Because they also have hopes, they have ambitions. They want a father, they need a mother. So they have questions because they also suffer from trauma of abandonment. They will feel that rejection, that abandonment, like, why did this woman leave us? Why did this man leave us? That's speaking from the point of view of the children. But for parents, single parents, fathers or mothers, God will help every one of you. Please try to separate yourself. It's when you are done healing that you can actually think clearly. But ensure that you raise your children with the value that you know that whatever come rain, come sunshine, even when they find out the truth, they will be able to make the right decision. And you will trust the decision they make because you have raised them right. It will not be what you want, it will be what they want. Now, from the point of view of the children, you cannot blame the daughters because, especially girl child, they are females. The loss of a father, a girl child will usually love the father, the loss of a comforter, the feeling of abandonment. Do you know how they would have been looking for that male figure love in all the wrong places? And at the end of the day, because the mother did not process the hurt and heal on time before the time of reward came, by the time their father came back, the children saw their mother in a new light. We thought you were a good woman. Why are you this mean? Why are you this bitter? Unprocessed emotions can cause issues. And we realized that it was even the hurt. The children were acting from the place of the hurt. Not that they stopped loving their mother, as we'll see at the conclusion of the movie. Not that they stopped, but everyone's feelings is important. Their emotions are valid. So, as individuals, and when we find ourselves in whatever situation, please let's deal with that hurt. Let's not bury it. Let's deal with it so that when it's time for you to enjoy your reward, it doesn't rear its ugly head and paint you in a bad light. That will be all on the review of IYA. So if you have not watched it, please watch it on the Mide Martins TV, and it's from part 1 to 3. You would enjoy it. Bye for now.